Have you ever wondered whether your faith actually matters? And whether God actually sees the little acts of trust you offer him? In the first 3 chapters of Blessed is Her Name, we experience 3 mysteries that mark the whole of Mary's life: faith, fearlessness, and purpose. We see a faith that keeps believing even when heaven is silent. We see a fearlessness that comes not from our own strength, but from God's light surrounding and protecting what he loves. And we see a purpose so great that the very creation of Mary becomes a gift for each of us, a mother given so that the light of the Word comes to the world for our salvation. As you watch these moments, I invite you to ask, where do I need Mary's faith, her fearlessness, and her sense of purpose in my life today? Let us step into the beginning of her story. Chapter 1, The Immaculate Conception. A sudden and radiant light filled the room, engulfing them in its brilliance. Before them appearing a young and strikingly handsome man, his presence both ethereal and tangible. It was the angel Gabriel, his form glowing with divine light, his voice gentle yet commanding. I am Gabriel, sent by the Holy Trinity with this message. You, Joachim and Anne, who have shown yourselves to be devout servants, who in continuous prayer for the redemption of humanity and the coming of the Messiah have come to our presence and have been heard in our clemency. So too has been heard your prayer for a child. Anne, although sterile, shall miraculously conceive a daughter, to whom we give the name of Mary. She will be blessed among women. All nations shall know her as the Blessed, for love has softened the heart of the Almighty and has hastened his mercy toward man. This daughter shall be wonderful in all her doings and in all her life. The light around Anne grew even brighter, and Gabriel turned to her, speaking privately. We will create in you a perfect work, which is the object of our omnipotence and a pattern of the perfection intended for our children and the finishing crown of creation. Chapter 2, The Bowels of Hell. Later, inside her home, Anne sat by the window, her fingers deftly stitching a delicate baby garment. The golden afternoon light spilled through the wooden shutters, casting warm, dappled patterns across the earthen floor. Then, without warning, the air shifted. The warmth drained from the room, replaced by an unnatural chill that prickled against her skin. And then he was there. Lucifer emerged, his presence warping the space around him, a figure of terrible beauty and consuming dread. His eyes, like smoldering embers, bore into her, and though his face was carved with the perfection of an angel, it was marred by something deeper, an ancient rage, a sorrow twisted into something cruel. He began to berate her, his voice dripping with malice. Look at you, such an old withered woman with child, and Joachim is even older than you are. It's not his, is it? You adulteress. You please me, you who betray to God with such piety. Carry your sin in your belly. In an instant, 2 celestial beings descended, their presence illuminating the room with a brilliance that defied the very darkness seeping from the fallen angel's form. One angel swept down with breathtaking swiftness, its massive wings unfurling like a shield of pure light, enveloping Anne in a barrier of divine protection. Its robes gleaming like molten gold. Without hesitation, the angel's voice rang out, rich and commanding, each word thrumming with the power of the Almighty. "You will not enter this house again," the angel declared, its voice shaking the very air. "Do you not see? Anne is guarded by us, servants of the Lord. Depart, for you have no claim here." Lucifer's eyes narrowed, his voice laced with venom. "Why does he guard such a wretched woman who carries a bastard child? He scrapes the bottom of the barrel for believers." The angel's voice was firm. "Leave and know that Anne is never alone." Lucifer's form began to dissipate, but his voice lingered, a chilling echo. "Why does the likes of such disturb me so? I will end her life, if need be, whatever it takes to return to a state of peace." Chapter 3. The Birth of Mary. Anne sat alone with her newborn daughter, the rays of sunlight streaming through the slats of the window and illuminating the child's tiny form. "Lord, creator of all life and most powerful, in your infinite wisdom, you have given me this child. Thank you. But now I must ask, how am I to care for the one whom you alone have deemed to carry the eternal Word? You shall care outwardly for her as a mother cares for her child, without any demonstration of reverence, but retain this reverence internally. Then, as if the very heavens had drawn near, angelic voices wove together in perfect harmony a song of praise that trembled with joy and reverence for the newborn child Mary. The light emanating from the baby's heart grew brighter, becoming a conduit through which God's words were conveyed directly to the child, who understood all that was being spoken. God's voice resonated. "My beloved, on earth, the Word shall have you as his mother, without a father, as in heaven he has a father without a mother. The time has arrived by our providence for bringing to life the light, the creature in human form, freed from sin, which is to crush the head of the serpent. The hour is at hand. So blessed for mortals in whom the treasures of our divinity are to be opened and the gates of heaven unlocked." In these first moments of Mary's story, we see 3 gifts that the Lord wants to awaken in each one of us. Faith, like Joachim and Anne, who kept believing in God's promise, even though their arms were empty and the years had passed them by. Fearlessness, not the absence of danger, but the quiet confidence in God's light surrounding and protecting that which he has chosen, even when the enemy presses close. And purpose, the astonishing truth that Mary was not created merely for her holiness, but for ours. To bring the light of the Word to the world, for you and me, for our salvation. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these three touched your heart deeply today? Please share your story in the comments below, because those words might be the exact words that someone else might need to hear today. When you're ready, please do continue to hear Mary's story. I've listed in the description below all the links to the entire Blessed is Her Name series in each language. Each has its own playlist on YouTube. And for the ebook and audiobook, you may visit themotherofgod.org. I look forward to hearing from each of you. God bless you, and much love always, Barbara.